This is the second section of the yesterday's 7 smart moves you should consider making if you want to smash this forthcoming exam. So if you've not listened to the first section, I suggest and I highly recommend you listen to that first section, because in that first section you are going to learn a lot of things that I might not be mentioning in this section. So the first section has a lot of power-packed information that will boost you and help you boost your grades and also help you avoid lecturers during this exam period. Please listen to the first section, and if you have listened to the first section, this section, I promise you, is going to bless your life and is going to give you more value out of your time, and you are going to learn a lot that you never thought of. So pay attention, get your notes, and please share this particular section with all your friends and all your classmates. Let's get MOUAU involved. Well, without further ado, let's continue with our 7 smart moves you should consider making if you want to boost and beat this exam. 7 smart moves of exam success. This next smart move is for those of us who are always distracted whenever we decide to read. Anytime we open a book, we open our handout, we bring in past questions to study, distractions will from nowhere flood in. If this is you, please consider keeping a distraction list. Like, Max, what's a distraction list? Hear me out, calm down. If you know that anytime you open a book, you open your handouts, distraction will know from anywhere, like fire, like anything. They will just, keep pumping into your mind. Bro, comrade, keep a distraction list. Let me explain. If you're a type of person and you realize that once you start reading, you remember that you've not sent your account number to your dad, or you've not called your ex, or you've not done this or that whenever you are reading, I suggest you make a distraction list. So what is a distraction list? A distraction list is just simply a notebook that you just place beside you as you read. How will I just get a notebook and place beside me as I read? Keep listening. All right. Just get a notebook or paper and write anything that is disturbing you. Now, whenever you begin reading, you start solving your past questions, you start studying, start reading up your notes on or anything, and a thought flies into your mind. Comrade, write that thing down. If it's I've not fetched water, write it down. If it's I've not called Chamaka to tell her I love her, write it down. If it's I've not sent money to my Pampe I'm saving, write it down. That's not the time to stop reading and get your phone and start sending or start attending to all these thoughts. No, comrade, no. Get them out of your head, keep your head clear, and just focus on the task at hand. Most of us sometimes, whenever we are reading, if a thought will just fly in, for most of us that are, content creators online. So you just remember, I've not shared this particular post. Okay, I'll just pull off my phone, go to Facebook, start scheduling. Before you know it, a notification will come. Before you know it, I've wasted 30 minutes mindlessly scrolling on Facebook. I believe you can relate. So to avoid all these distractions, put your phone on flight mode if you have the mind. Put your phone on flight mode, get a distraction list, and focus. Let me tell you, this exam, you should focus. Focus! All right. So now, before we proceed to the last 2 golden moves, these 2 golden moves, you should pay attention to them because they will make a whole lot of difference when you apply them and when you see your results. Now, this is the first time I'm asking for this. I want us to get to 500 subscribers before 19th. Please. I want us to get to 500 subscribers before 19th. Please, if you love what you are hearing, please, I beg of you, help me share this podcast with your friends. Encourage them to subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed and you are receiving these blessings and you are learning, help your boy. Help a boy out. Subscribe. Share this to your friends, your departmental groups, and everywhere. Let us, build ourselves. Let this message get to everyone. This is a podcast that is dedicated to building you to becoming an excellent student in school and after graduation. So if you help us get to 500, it's going to be a win for both of us. Thank you very much. I believe you are going to share it, comrade. Thank you so much. So back to where we were. Back to where we were. Now, what if you practiced all the things I mentioned above, you practice the 5 steps I mentioned above, the 5 smart moves I mentioned above effectively. But when you enter the exam hall, probably due to anxiety or fear, you couldn't remember anything. God forbid. God forbid it won't happen to you. But what if it happens? What should you do? What should you do? Let me tell you one thing. I can remember one particular semester, one particular exam. I prepared, did all the necessary things. I prayed, fasted, entered the exam hall, and immediately, I don't know if it's tension or what, I couldn't remember anything. For a few minutes, I couldn't remember anything. But as God might have it, I started remembering some of the things. But yeah, that's why I want to share this with you. I believe sometimes it happens to students. There are times you will enter the exam hall due to fear, I don't know, village people. Let me tell you, some students use jazz. I've heard about a student, he entered the exam hall, they called his name, he turned back. Just to turn back, he didn't see the person that called him, but just to turn back, he couldn't remember anything. He's a hyper, he couldn't remember anything. So if you are in his position, what should you do? Firstly, please pray. Pray. But now, don't submit empty sheets. I beg of you. Never you submit empty sheets. If you enter the exam hall and you don't know what to write, you've studied, you prayed, you did your assignments, you prepared well, but you couldn't connect and answer the questions properly. Don't submit empty sheets, please. I beg of you. Submitting empty sheets attracts a negative mark from lecturers. Here is what you should do. Instead of leaving or not answering a question that you don't fully understand or you can't clearly remember, do this instead. Now, try to write down. Now, in case, just imagine they ask you, define this. You know you've studied this, or solve this particular calculation. You know you've studied this. So what you just need to do is write down the little things you can remember or you know about the question. Even if it's definition of terms that are not connected to that are connected to the questions, or formulas that are related to the question, just write them down. Just write them down. But will writing them down give you the mark that you need? Yes. They might help you. It's better you write what you think you know, what you know, than submitting empty sheets. Here's why. There are 2 reasons why doing this will help you. 2 solid reasons. 1, it will give you a few marks. Let me tell you, there is no lecturer, wicked or good, that will see you writing some things that are related to the context of what they asked, but it's not exactly what they asked, that won't give you a mark or 2. This might give you a mark or 2. And remember, 2 marks is better than 0. 2 marks is better than 0. Now, you might not, go blank totally on all the questions, but imagine you are expected to answer 5 questions and you could answer 3, remaining 2. Those 2, you have a shady idea on what to write. Just write the few things you can remember. If it's list of formulas that are connected to how to solve it, but you don't know how to solve them, write them down. If the lecturer is supposed to give you 15 marks, the lecturer might, out of benevolence, give you 2 or 3 marks. My brother, is something. I've almost missed an A in a 3-credit load course because of 2 marks. So that 2, even if it's 1 mark can make you miss A. I've heard about the students that got 69. The lecturer might supposed to have, added it to 1 mark, but some of them are strict. So 1 mark is even important. And the second reason why you should try doing this is, while writing the little you know, you might discover the path to the solution you need. It has happened to me. Sometimes I enter the exam hall, there's something I practice, and let me chip this in. I missed a particular question. I've solved it before, but I can't clearly, trace the answer back. Just go back to the back of the answer sheet and start writing some formulas down. Start trying to connect the dots. If I spend more time and dwell in it, I will get what I need and start solving that question. It has happened to me countless times. So writing those things down, even if it's just writing the formulas down, you might even find out that there are things that are connected that you can do 1 or 2 that can give you a few marks there. And you can even, with the grace of God, get the full solution by just writing those things down. So, our brain sometimes, what our brain requires is just giving it a few clues that you can remember. So once you can clearly remember some things and start connecting the dots, here you go, you can fully remember that stuff. I hope this helps. Now, after writing the exam, there is a smart step you should never forget. Please, if you want to do well, if you're a student that wants to do well, never forget this. Never forget this. Now, let me share two stories with you. The first story is a personal story on what happened to me during my 100 level. And the second story is a story of what happened to my friend when we were in our third year. Now, the first story is, there was a particular course. I can't clearly remember the course. After writing the exam, I wanted to submit. Sometimes we might want to, claim hyper. Let me go and submit fast, so that people will think, this guy no book. Because you've answered the questions. I stood up just to go and submit. I don't know what drew me back. I sat down again and started cross-checking. And remember, it's OMR. Started cross-checking my answer. If I check number one, I check. I realized that from number 15 to a certain number was wrong. It's not that I didn't know them. I was shedding the wrong thing. I couldn't answer number 14. So instead of me I couldn't answer number 14, but I could answer from 15 downwards. So, when you can't answer number 14, you just leave it blank. The answer of number 15, I placed it in the answer sheet. Yeah, in the section of question 14. And that was how I started shedding wrongly for nearly 10 questions. I hope you're getting me. Just imagine if I had submitted claiming hyper. The kind of deed I would have gotten God I beg you. Now, the second story is about a friend. Now, this particular one, I don't know if he was claiming hyper or he was claiming, I don't know what he was claiming, but probably he wasn't even claiming anything. After writing, during our 300 level, he submitted. But when the result came out, he couldn't see his results. He was like, what's in the album? They told him missing scripts. And we all know what can lead to missing scripts. So he went to our core advisor. Our core advisor told him to go to the lecturer in charge of the course. He met the lecturer in charge of the course, and the lecturer told him, I can't find your script. I can't find your script. He told the lecturer, so I wrote the exam, and after a few debates, the lecturer brought out the attendance, and lo and behold, the guy wrote the exam. So they started sorting the questions, and they found a particular answer sheet that didn't have a range number on it. And the guy claimed that it was his own because that was his handwriting. So the lecturer doubted. After doubting, so the guy brought in some of his notes and even wrote in front of the lecturer, and the lecturer confirmed that that was his answer script. But the lecturer, upon realizing that this is the true owner of the answer sheet, the lecturer still insisted that he failed the course, that has gone. This particular issue lingered for roughly getting to 2 semesters before even my court advisor went in for the course. The lecturer, being strong-headed, said he's not going to do anything about it, that the student is going to rewrite the course. So it had to take a higher power to come in, and that power was my HOD. My HOD sent my court advisor to go and tell the lecturer, I am the HOD, attend to these students. Since you know that these students, blah, 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 this is his own, please, he's sorry for what he did, but that should not make him rewrite the course. Hope you are learning this. Why he submitted without writing his range number is because he didn't cross-check his work. Why I almost failed that course, that exam, is because I almost didn't cross-check my work. Please, comrade, please, I beg of you. To him that has ears, let him listen. If you're a student that wants to do well in your exam, please, before you submit that exam, that answer sheet, try to go through what you've written down. I beg of you. Don't assume that what you wrote is right. Don't assume you are right. Try to go through all the answers as if you are the lecturer that is going to mark the exam. I'm telling you, try to just calm down. As you write fast. Before you submit, go through everything you wrote. You start crossing your T's. You find out that there are some things that are wrong. And if you carefully cross-check your work, I promise you, you will find something that will make you lose a few marks. That's a promise. So, please, I beg of you. Now, I was thinking about something the other day, an idea that just flew into my mind, and I just want to share it with you. I'm thinking about creating a community of students in MOUAU, where we discuss about life and life after school, life after graduation, and where we share ideas, where I teach you about leadership, where I teach you about how to grow and we share ideas on how to stand out and everything. It's still an idea on my mind. I'm still planning on it. I'm still praying about it. But what do you think about this idea? Please, if you have anything about it, if you want us to proceed, and if you think it's a wonderful idea, let me know in the comments so that I will not start what no one sent me. So if you think it's a wonderful idea, let me know in the comment section. And also, I have a powerful, in fact, the most powerful smart move I reserved for those of you who will listen to the end. So if you know you are still hearing my voice, if you know you are still with me, this is for you. This smart move is from Proverbs 3:1-6. Please, I beg of you, follow me carefully as I read and explain. This will bless your life. This will bless your life. Proverbs 3:1-6, NLT. You can use anyone, but I prefer using NLT just to explain this. My child, my fellow student, come read. Never forget the things I have taught you. Now, this is God speaking. My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commands in your heart. Store my commandments. Store my laws in your heart. And if you do this too, if you do this, you will live many years. And your life will be satisfying with peace and prosperity. Now, if you store God's law and follow his commandments, not cheating in exam, living rightly, your years will be longer and you live a peaceful life and with prosperity. 3. Now, never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Comrade, this is what it means. As you're coming back and resuming, be loyal and be kind to people. Be loyal and be kind to your fellow students and to God. And now, here is the promise attached to this commandment. Then, that's 4. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Now 5, and I love this. This is something we all quote. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. King James Version will say, lean not on your own understanding. Let me tell you, in this exam, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on what you think you know. Passion Bible will tell you, do not depend on what you think you know. 6 will say, seek his ways in all you do, and he will show you the path to take. Let me tell you, as you're preparing for this exam, seek for God's ways in all you do, and he will show you where to focus and where to live. Now, the summary of this Proverbs 3:1-6 is trust in the Lord, obey his commandments, be kind and loyal, do God's will, and now you will get the results that is in your heart. Comrade, try as much as you can to listen this once again and pay attention. Take notes if you can. Share this message. Let it get to all MOUAU students. Let the world hear this. Let MOUAU students hear this. I'm tired of students complaining about certain courses, about lecturers setting questions that they didn't teach. We have been warned now. If for you to be forewarned, it means you need to be forearmed. I don't know if I quoted that right. So, hope this inspired you today. Please, like I said, share this message. I'll be teaching with your friends, your classmates. Share it in any MOUAU group chat that you find yourself in. Let's inform others. Let's spread this message. It's not about me going viral. No, this is about you. It's about you growing to where you should grow. I'm tired of students complaining about failing exams. I'm just sick and tired of it. And if you have any question that you want us to discuss, please leave a comment below. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening to my small and tiny voice. I am still that your boy, Maxwell Friday, a final year student. Very soon I'll leave this school. God I beg. And this is the Nigerian Student Podcast, a podcast that wants to transform students into world changers. See you on Saturday, and remember, blessed are you when you do these things. God bless you, and God loves you. Take control.